Good afternoon. Today is the 4th of March and it's time for our monthly look at the winners and losers of this new car market in this country. Yes, it's time for the top 10 best-selling cars of February 2021. As always in these videos, I'm using the data from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, and I've got the website here in front of me so I don't make any mistakes, or I try to make any mistakes anyway. The overall picture is not one of optimism. I read an article today on the Autocar website which said that actually this is the lowest February in terms of new car sales since 1959. And that is a percentage change of minus 35.5 over February 2020. Now, that wasn't really a big sales month, and February generally isn't anyway. So we've had, one or two challenges, shall we say. The private sector is down 37%. And that's now a slightly less of a market share as it was last year. It was 42.8%, and now it's 41.6%. And the fleet sector has kind of a pretty much average change, exactly as the sort of overall picture is of. Actually, no, it's slightly different. It's minus 33.5%. I do apologise. But it's now gone from a 55.4% market share last year to 57.1% market share. The business sector is tiny. It's had a 56.6% decrease over February 2020. And it makes up just 1.2% of the market, and that's 637 cars. Of business entirely. It's a big old change. When I talk about these figures, by the way, I'm not talking about actual sales, because a car could have been sold at any time in the last few months. I'm talking about when the car was actually registered, because it's the only way we really have of monitoring this. But I will call it sales because I always do, because that's easier. So we're just comparing, February 2020 with February 2021. That's what we're doing in these charts. So, example, were cars powered by diesel, the forbidden fuel. There's been a 61% decrease in sales of those since last year. The market share was 21.8%. It's now 13.2%. Again, that's a long trend. It's been going on for years now. And, those types of vehicle will gradually just get less and less in the new car sales as it goes on, just the way that it is. However, mild hybrid diesel, this is things like the Kia Sportage and behind it Tucson, amongst a lot of others. Those are examples I use because I know that those are. It's a 37.9% increase. Market share was 2.5% last year. It's now 5.4%. Petrol, a very big decline. Again, not altogether unexpected. It's gone from 60.6% of the market to 52.1% of the market. That's a 44.5% decrease. Mild hybrid petrol, though, there's cars like the Suzuki Ignis, the Volkswagen Golf, various models of that are mild hybrid now, and lots of others. It's gone from a market share of 4.2%, February 2020, to last month, 10.1%, 56.8% increase. Battery electric vehicles, Honda E, Teslas, MGZ SEV, MG5 EV, all these ones, 40.2% increase. Market share last year, 3.2%, last month, 6.9%. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicles of Vauxhall Crossland X, MGHS plug-in hybrid, Mitsubishi Outlander while they still sell it. Again, big increase, 52.1%. Was 2.6% last year, now 6.9%. Hybrid electric vehicles, things like the Toyota Yaris, Honda Jazz, Toyota Prius, etc., etc., etc. That's actually decreased minus 22.8% over last year. So was 5.2% of the market in 2020. Last month, 6.3%. So that's all the breakdown by fuel type. Let's get now into what you probably clicked on the video for, unless you wanted entertainment, in which case you've got nothing. The best sellers for last month, first place Ford Fiesta. Not a huge surprise, really. Volvo, of course, has been outselling that for a while now, though. But last month, top of the chart, 1645 sales. Second, the Corsa, 1405. Corsa still number one overall over the last 2 months. The Qashqai car about to be replaced, so big sales, really, comparatively speaking. I mean, these aren't massive numbers, but when you compare what's else in the top 10, it's quite surprising. So third, Nissan Qashqai, 1321. Fourth, Mercedes-Benz A-Class, 1298. Again, not really a surprise to sell a lot of those. Way more so than a Focus. Fifth, Volvo Xc40, again, massively popular car in this country at the moment. Somehow they really just hit the market with that. 1251. Sixth place, Kia Niro. Lots of e-Niros being sold at the moment, and also the plug-in hybrid version of a Niro. 1215. Seventh place, Volkswagen T-Roc. I've not seen a T-Roc in top 10 for a while. I don't know why particularly. There's maybe a deal on that at the moment. 1031. Eighth, Volkswagen Cousin, the Tiguan. 1011. And then we get into three-figure sales, which is something you don't see a lot, actually, in top 10 best-selling car lists for the month. Ninth, Ford Kuga, 960. And 10th, Ford Focus, 945. You see, the Golf isn't even in the chart this time, which is surprising. It just shows how preferences are changing. So now let's look at how the brand are doing. Now, remember, the figure to beat this month is minus 35.5%. Any car which shows, or rather car manufacturer, which shows a figure of above minus 35.5% is doing better than average. There's actually quite a few. Abarth, so sadly, is not one of them. We always have to start with Abarth because they're at the top of the alphabetical list. So, minus 50% change. Market share in February 2020, or just, well, I'm just going to call it 2020 because it's the month of February 2020, was 0.16%. Last month was 0.13, 65 cars sold. Alfa Romeo, 30 cars sold last month. Market share, 0.06%. Last year was 0.14, 73.2% decrease. Massive. Alpine, no cars sold last month at all. Audi, not too bad, I suppose. Minus 17.2%. It was a 5.6% market share last year. It's now a 7.2% market share and 3,700 cars sold. Bentley, a minus 33.33% decrease. That's quite a round number, really. Last year, market share was 0.05%. Same this year, but they only sold 28 cars, sorry. BMW, not massively great month for them, unfortunately, but still one of the bigger brands. 41% decrease. Was an 8.36% market share last year. Last month, 7.68%. And just around 3,940 cars sold. Citroën, although we don't use the trademark in English, really. 49% decrease. Was a 2.7% market share a year ago. Just about 1,100 cars sold. Now a 2.14% market share. Dacia, 64% decrease. I presume this isn't the new Sandero. It's the old one, I think. So quite a big decrease. Was a 1.03% market share. Now it's 0.57 and about 300 cars sold. DS still sadly in decline. 48% decrease. Was a 0.18% market share, now 0.14, 73 cars sold. Fiat, big decline. The new Tipo is out with 1 litre engine, which is pretty better than all the other engines they used to sell it with. That's on sale, but I don't know if that's going to help them. They kind of need a few more new models. Perhaps now they're part of Stellantis, they'll get rid of a few more of them. But anyway, 61.3% decrease. Was a 1.38% market share, and now it's down to 0.83, 425 cars sold. Ford, possibly going to be the biggest manufacturer on this list, normally is. 39.4% decrease. Was a 10.63% market share. Now it's 10% dead on. Just over 5,000 cars sold. Honda, again a big decrease. 72.5%. Was a 2.26% market share, and now it's under 1%, 0.96, and 500 cars sold. Huge decrease for whatever reason. They've got some good cars, but I just think they're a little bit expensive personally. Which is my opinion. Right, Hyundai. Traditionally not as good a performer in this country as Kia, although they're the same company. I think it's because some of their cars are really ugly. I just think a lot of the cars that are coming out now are really ugly. The i30 is not. That's a nice looking car. But things like the facelifted Kona and the new Tucson, I just don't like them. Anyway, the engineering's solid enough though. So 49% decrease. Was a 3.1% market share. Now about 2.45% market share and about 1,250 cars sold. Jaguar, sadly that XJ Electric has been cancelled, which is a massive shame. 60.6% decrease. Was a 1.07% market share last year. Last month, 0.65, and 334 cars sold. Jeep, not too bad in the grand scheme of things. 22.6% decrease. Was a 0.19% market share, and now at 0.23, which actually is an increase in market share, and 120 cars sold. Kia, again, really not too bad. 5.9% decrease. Was a 3.84% market share last year. Now 5.6% market share. So market share has really gone up, even if the raw sellers haven't. About 3,000 cars sold. Land Rover, 11.73% decrease. Not massive, really. Last year, 2.6% market share. This year, 3.6%. That's a good increase, and about 1,850 cars sold. Lexus, 54.5% decrease. 0.53% market share last year, 0.37% this year, 192 cars sold. Maserati, 12 cars sold. 0.02% market share. Last year was a 0.03%, 50% decrease. Mazda, again, a brand that's not been doing too well in this market recently. I don't know, but their cars in general are quite handsome, although I did see a CX-30 recently, and I didn't really like it. The Mazda 3 is nice. So 48% decrease. 1.19% market share last year. This year, 0.97%, so not even a 1%. About 500 cars sold. Mercedes-Benz, brand sort of edging up in this country in terms of market share always. 34% decrease, 7.22% market share last year, 7.38% this last month, and about 3,800 cars sold, so a slight increase in market share. MG, what can stop MG? 5.89% decrease, that's acceptable under the circumstances. 1.1% market share last year. This year, 1.6% market share, 831 cars sold. So well above Dacia this for some reason, and lots of other brands too. See if they're bigger than Honda. Yes, by some margin. Mini, 24% decrease, 2.6% market share last year, 3% market share last month, 1,500 cars sold. Mitsubishi, a decline because the brand's been withdrawn by the end of next year from this country and Europe in general. But given what's been going on, a 47.1% decrease, 0.5% market share last year, and 0.41% market share last month isn't too bad. About 200 cars sold. Nissan, obviously selling lots of cash guys. 18.4% decrease, 3.5% market share last year, 4.43% this year, and 2,275 cars sold. Peugeot, 34% decrease, 3.7% market share last year, 3.8% this year, so slight increase, but overall sales down, of course. 950 cars sold. Porsche, 30.58% decrease, which isn't too bad for a luxury brand, I suppose. 1.66% market share last year, last month 1.36%. Sorry, 0.35% market share last year. Looking at the wrong column, I do apologise. This year, 0.38%, 193 cars sold. Renault, 47% decrease, 1.66% market share last year, 1.36% market share last month, about 700 cars sold. Seat don't do traditionally well as Skoda in our market. The Tarraco plug-in hybrid is coming out soon though, which might be big news to some people, I suppose. 43.5% decrease, 3.39% market share last year, 2.97% this last month, and 1,524 cars sold. Skoda, we like our Skodas over here. Minus 29.7% sales decrease, 4% market share last year, 4.37% last month, and about 2,250 cars sold. Smart, 26.3% decrease, 1% of the market share last year, 0.1% of the market share last year, 0.11% this year, 59 cars sold. SsangYong, complete disaster, I'm afraid. Probably not helped by the rumours of impending bankruptcy and demise and everything, which we'll probably get out of, I hope anyway. 79% decrease, 0.1% of market share last year, 0.03% last month, and 17 cars sold in the entire dealer network. That's worse than Subaru. They sold 22 cars last month, 0.04% market share. Last year was 0.03%, and that's an 8% decrease. Suzuki, again, I don't know why they're in decline, possibly because all their cars' price went up when they made a more mild hybrids. 50% decrease, 1.28% market share last year, 1% last month. That's worse than MG, of course. About 500 cars sold. Toyota, minus 37% decrease, 4.7% market share last year, 4.6% last month, 2,400 cars sold. Vauxhall, not doing too badly, 35% decrease, slightly better than average, 6.45% market share last year, 6.5% this year, so a slight increase, and about 3,400 cars sold. Volkswagen, 5,000 cars sold. Is that better than Ford? Oh, it's very close. Yeah, it's about 200 different. Last year was at 11.24% of market share, now is 9.65%, and a 45% decrease. Volvo, they did the best out of pretty much everyone, 0.78% decrease. Last year, 2.26% market share, this year 3.48%. Amazing, considering that small difference. And about 800 cars sold. Other imports, this is mainly Teslas, 68% decrease, Market share last year was 60.63%, and then now it's 0.31, and that figure overall decrease of 35.5% in the market. It's interesting in a way to compare 2020 with 2021 for February, because February was the last month last year which wasn't actually affected by the dealerships being closed. There were rumours of things going on in February, but really a lot of us just kind of continued as usual and thought it wouldn't affect us. So it's just interesting to compare these. Anyway, that was the top 10 best-selling cars for February 2021. We are doing a live stream actually on Saturday, which will be the 6th at 7:30 p.m. GMT, so do join us for that. But thank you once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already done so, please don't forget to like this video and leave a comment below. The social media links are in the description below. And I suppose I'll see you on Saturday, some of you.